Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Vijaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Go. So, now we're reading the Srimad Bhagavatam. This is from the 8th canto. It's chapter 7, and it is text number 44. If anybody would like to follow along, it's a very powerful verse. 8:7:44. You ready? Tapyante loka-tāpena, sādhavaḥ prāyaśo janāḥ, paramārādhanam taddi, puruṣasyākhilātmanaḥ, 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 tapyante, voluntarily suffer, loka-tāpena, because of the suffering of people in general, sādhavaḥ, saintly persons.
saintly persons.
Prāyaśaḥ,
Prāyaśaḥ,
almost always.
almost always.
Janāḥ,
janāḥ,
such persons.
such persons.
Parama-ārādhanam,
Parama-ārādhanam,
the topmost method of worshipping.
topmost method of worshiping.
Tat,
Tat,
that activity.
that activity.
He, indeed.
Indeed.
Puruṣasya,
Puruṣasya,
of the Supreme Person.
of the Supreme Person.
Akhila-ātmanaḥ,
akhila-ātmanaḥ,
who is the Supersoul of everyone.
who is the Supersoul of everyone.
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. It is said that great personalities almost always accept voluntary suffering because of the suffering of people in general. This is considered the highest method of worshiping the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who was present in everyone's heart. Purport. Here is an explanation of how those engaged in activities for the welfare of others are very quickly recognized by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Anybody here want to be recognized by Krishna? Yeah? Me too. The Lord says in Bhagavad Gita 18:68 and 69, Na yaidang paramang mad bhakte sabhashiti na cha tasman manushesu kashya me priyakritama. One who preaches the message of Bhagavad Gita to my devotees is most dear to me. No one can excel him in satisfying me by worship. There are different kinds of welfare activities in this material world, but the supreme welfare activity is the spreading of Krishna consciousness. Other welfare activities cannot be effective, for the laws of nature and the results of karma cannot be checked. It's like sometimes there's poor people and someone gives them a donation, but the karma is they have to suffer. So they're going to continue on in their poverty. Yeah. So you can't check, just like Prabhupada gives the example here. The criminal, he has to accept the judgment of the judge. Yeah. So we have our karma. So the only thing that could change a person's karma is if they take to Krishna consciousness. That changes the karma. Otherwise, it can't be changed. It is by destiny or the laws of karma that one must suffer or enjoy. For instance, if one is given a court order, he must accept it, whether it brings suffering or profit. Similarly, everyone is under the obligations to karma and its reactions. No one can change this. Therefore, the Shastra says, Tashaiva heto prayate tako vido nalabhyate tad brahmatam uparyadam. One should endeavor for that which is never obtained by wandering up and down the universe as a result of the reactions of karma. What is that? One should endeavor to become Krishna conscious. If one tries to spread Krishna consciousness all over the world, he should be understood to be performing the best welfare activity. The Lord is automatically very pleased with him. If the Lord is pleased with him, what is left for him to achieve? That's a powerful statement there. If the Lord is pleased with him, what is left for him to achieve? It's like sometimes people, because we tell people that the mantra we're chanting, we're praying, God, please engage in your service. And then people say sometimes, so what should we do? What's a service that we can do? Because people don't know. So Prabhupada, he gives direction. What's the best thing that we can do? And here we're hearing the best thing we can do is help others. And the best way to help others is to give them guidance to Krishna. This is the best way to please the Lord. If one has been recognized, there's the word again, recognized by the Lord, Even if he does not ask for the Lord for anything, the Lord, who is within everyone, supplies him whatever he wants. So we don't even have to pray for it. Whatever we need, Krishna's going to give. We don't need much, actually, right? We have a simple life, simple living, high thinking, right? So it's a nice life. Usually people have very complicated lives. They want to get a big house and big car and so many things, lots of things. Lots of things. Consumer society, so many things. Just like you have these, they have Walmarts here also. Walmart, yeah. So 99% of the stuff there we don't even need. Yeah? We don't need it. Just consumer society. We don't need it. We don't need very much. We don't need all these things. We'll know how wealthy we are when we find out how many things we have, how many valuable things we have that money can't buy. So what is a valuable thing that money can't buy?
Devotion.
Devotion, yeah. You can't buy devotion. We might give donations to the temple, but a lot of times they're giving donations to the temple so that you can get something in return. I know one person, before he would give a donation, he would show the money to the deity, and then he'd put it in. Like, see what I'm doing here, right? So yeah, devotion. Devotion is, of course, Krishna appreciates donations, but that's not how you get devotion. What else? What else is very valuable that money can't buy? So many things. Time. You can't buy back one moment of time. Time is so valuable. People waste time so many ways now because they have all these devices now. Huge waste of time. Movies, television, all these things. It's terrible. People waste so much valuable time. They don't know how valuable this time is. It's stated in the Vishnu Purana that if one wastes one moment of time, nahastani masjidram, samuhurtam, no, samuhachad saridmaha, tan muhurtam sinam vapi vasudeva nachintaya. That if we waste one moment of time, that's the greatest failure. It's not the greatest failure if you fail on your master's exam. That's not the greatest exam. The greatest failure if we forget Krishna for a moment. It's the greatest failure. It's the greatest loss. Like sometimes millionaires, they lose everything. Sometimes it happens. But that's not the greatest loss. One moment wasted, the greatest loss. Then this verse goes on to say that it is the greatest delusion also to forget Krishna. Because as soon as we forget Krishna, then we go into the material consciousness. Again, we go back. There's only Krishna and Maya, right? So if we're remembering Krishna, then we're not in Maya. If we're not thinking of Krishna, then there's Maya. Just like there's light or day. If you're looking at the sun, then you're in light. As soon as you turn, you're in the shade, right? And then it goes on to say, and it is the greatest anomaly. 4 things. It's the greatest failure, it's the greatest loss, it's the greatest illusion, and it's the greatest anomaly. Anomaly means like confusion. Yeah. So these seconds are very valuable, very valuable. So therefore, Krishna says, Manmana bhava bhakta, always think of me. always think of me. Become my devotee, worship me, and offer your homage unto me. Thus you'll come to me without fail. I promise you this because you're my very dear friend. So Krishna's asking for a lot. It's like there's one person, he was translating the Bhagavad Gita, and when he got to the verse, Sarvadhamam Parityajya Mamikam Saranam Vraja, in his commentary he says, Krishna is asking for too much. These rascals. Therefore Prabhupada has Bhagavad Gita as it is. Because Prabhupada's given the real translation, the real understanding. And therefore we call it Bhagavad Gita as it is. And all the other Bhagavad Gitas, they can be called Bhagavad Gita as it isn't. As it isn't. Because they're not getting the real thing. And therefore people are confused. Yeah. Can't understand. So, yeah, we have to utilize every moment in the service of Krishna. Then we're protected. Then we're protected. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, in the Uddhava Gita, Krishna, he says to Uddhava, Uddhava Gita is the continuation of the Bhagavad Gita. He says, Prapanam paramāradhanam bita mrityu gaharnava. Krishna says to Uddhava, this is how you should pray to me in the form of the deity. You ready? He says, please protect me, Krishna, who I'm trying to surrender unto you. I'm very fearful of this material existence, standing as I am in the mouth of death. So here Krishna, he's the deity, telling us how to pray to the deity. The deity is telling us how to pray to the deity. This is how we should, this is protection. We need protection. Yeah. Because Maya is so powerful, very powerful. So we'll continue on with the purport here. This is confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita. Tesam nitya bhayuktanam yogakshema vahamyaham. Who knows the beginning of this verse? Ananyaschintiyantamam yejina paripasya tesam nitya bhayuktanam yogakshema vahamyaham. Krishna says, but those who worship me with exclusive devotion, worship me in my transcendental form, for them I carry what they lack and preserve what they have. There's one instance where a devotee, he read this, and he said there must be some error, some editing error. So how could, Krishna's God, how could he carry what we lack? Why would he serve the devotees? Yeah? So he crossed it out. And then he told his wife he's gonna go bathe and then come back and honor prasadam. So while he was gone, these two boys come and they got scratches. One of them has a scratch on his face, kind of blue complexion, and the other one has white complexion. You probably figure out who that was. So he knocked on the door and he said, here's some things that your husband was in need of. And she said, well, thank you so much. What happened to your face? What's that? Oh, your husband, he did this to me. My husband? He's a qualified Brahmin. He would never do such a thing. Yeah, he did it to me. And she said, well, come in, boys. Let me give you some prasad. No. He might see us again. He might do something again. We better go. So then, after some time, he came back, the husband. And the wife said, these two boys came, and they gave us these things for you. And one of them, actually, they were very beautiful, but they had, blue complexion, white complexion. He had these scratches on his face. And I asked what happened. He said, you did this to him. What? I don't know what's that? I never did anything to any boys. And he says, well, what did he look like? It was pretty amazing. He had blue complexion, and his friend had white. And then he understood, oh my God, that was Krishna. because he explained to, I crossed out the Bhagavad Gita, but the Bhagavad Gita and Krishna are not different. So those marks, that was from my scratching the text in the Bhagavad Gita. So he understood from that Krishna carries, he carries what we lack. Continuing, again, as stated here, tapyante loka-tāpena, sādhavaḥ prāyaśo. The best welfare activity is raising people to the platform of Krishna consciousness, since the conditioned souls are suffering only for want of Krishna consciousness. The Lord himself also comes to mitigate the suffering of humanity. Yada yada hidharmasya glanir bhavati bharata bhutanam dharmasya tadatmanam sajamyaham paritranaya sadhanam vinasaya chaduskatam dharma sangstarpanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. Whenever and wherever there's a predominant rise in religious practice, O descendant of Bharata, and the predominant rise of irreligion, at that time I descend myself, to deliver the pious and to annihilate the miscreants, as well as to reestablish the principles of religion. I advent myself millennium after millennium. Bhagavad Gita 4, 7, 8. All the Shastras conclude, therefore, that spreading the Krishna conscious movement is the best welfare activity in the world, because of the ultimate benefit this bestows upon the people in general. The Lord very quickly recognizes, there it again, 3 times in this purport, recognizes. The Lord very quickly recognizes such service performed by a devotee. And I think the word welfare is in there quite a few times too, at least 3 times. So this is the best welfare activity. It is what is most needed. As Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he said that the only lack in society is Krishna consciousness. And therefore he told Prabhupada that if you ever get money, print books. So Prabhupada understood from that, oh, my guru is very fond of books. So, of course, he was young at that time and had family business to attend to, so he couldn't take up the order of his guru immediately. But Krishna, he had his plan. Nahyasya karchid rajan pumam veda vedhitsita. Bhishma, after the war was over, Kurukshetra, he told Yudhisthira that no one can understand the plan of the Lord. He has a plan. And we also have our plan, but Krishna's plan is always better, right? It's always best. Father knows best. So his plan is always best, and his plan is to increase the Krishna consciousness, and therefore he sends so many devotees, like Bhaktivinoda Thakur was sent, and Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he was such a great acharya. Before he came, Vaishnavism was practically non-existent. There was no, of course there was probably some Vaishnavas practicing, but there was no leadership. There was no leadership, and therefore it was gradually dwindling more and more. But when Bhaktivinoda Thakur, when he got to Chaitanya Charitamrita, he understood the importance of preaching. So he was writing, he was doing so much writing, so many books, so much poetry, amazing poetry, just beautiful poetry that we sing so often, every day. Jai Radha Madhava, it's one of his composed poems. Yeah, he got that one down. Very important one. It's like we have an amazing phenomenon in our ISKCON society that As soon as you say Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, people start going to sleep. In India, they have a saying that the cure for insomnia is Srimad Bhagavatam. But then when you chant Sairava then everybody wakes up. The wake up call. So actually, these books are meant to help people wake up. People are sleeping. They've forgotten. It's like they've gotten amnesia. It's like there's one instance where a young man, he was riding his bike and he crashed. And he hit his head real bad and he got amnesia. This is in California. And just total forgetfulness. Didn't know anything, didn't know his name, where he lives, just zero. So he picks up the bike, he's walking his bike, and the devotee is there. And the devotee says, "Hey, how's it going? Where are you from?" And he says, "I don't know. I hit my head. My memory is gone. I don't know my name. Nothing." So the devotee understood his awkward situation. So he took him under his wing and he let him come and stay with him. And he taught him. See, he said, "Well, I'll tell you who you are. You're a devotee of Krishna." Well, he said, "Well, good, now I know something." Blank slate, just nothing. So now that's good, in one sense, just nothing. No speculation, no nonsense ideas, and just blank slate. So he just filled him with Krishna consciousness, and he became a nice devotee, book distributor. But then eventually he wanted to find out who he was materially. So after a couple of years, he crashed his bike near a school. So I figured, well, I was probably going to school here. So he had a picture of him, and he put these little leaflets around the school. "If you know me, please call this number. I have amnesia." So people say, "Yeah, I know you." You called him up, find out who it was. Even found out who his parents were, and he found out everything. It turns out that he was a big atheist before he hit his head. So Krishna made him forget all that, and he became a devotee. So this is the situation. People have amnesia. People are just forgetful of who they are. Just like Sanatana Goswami, although he was so intelligent, he knew so many languages and so bright. But he went to Lord Chaitanya and said, "People think I'm a scholar, that I'm so intelligent, but I don't know who I am. Kayami, who am I? Who am I?" So what did Lord Chaitanya say? He said, "You're the eternal servant of Krishna. That's who you are." So this is who everybody is. Everybody is the eternal servant of Krishna. Some people know it, some don't. People have forgetfulness. But also there's other religions. People are serving God, they're worshiping God, which is good. They understand that they're servants of God. But it's not much information is given. Like I grew up a Christian, there's not much information in the Bible or in Christianity about God. Just like many devotees before they joined, they would ask their priest, "So what does God do?" Hare Krishna. What does God do? Couldn't say anything. No idea what God does. But then devotees would get Prabhupada's books and then find out, oh, okay, these are God's activities. He has wonderful activities. So, but they believe in God. Something is there. But these books give so much information about God, about ourselves. There's very little information even about the soul in the books. There's one statement that says, "What profiteth a man if he gain the whole world but lose the eternal soul?" not much information. Bhagavad Gita gives so much information, even about the soul, about Krishna, about how to develop our love for God. Like one Christian, he said, we're all about how God loves us, but you Hare Krishnas, you're all about you're developing your love for God, which is completely different and which is nice. We have to pray to God, please engage me in your service. And this verse here is a very interesting verse. This says that that people are suffering due to lack of Krishna consciousness. So devotees of the Lord, they accept voluntary suffering to relieve people of their suffering. And this verse says that is the best method of worshiping Krishna. There's no better way to worship God than to go out and give people knowledge of Krishna. No better way. There's so many services that we're doing for the deities. We cook for the deities and we clean and do so many things. But when we go out and preach, we're bringing souls to the temple that may have forgotten Krishna for millions of lifetimes. So when we bring a soul before the Lord, he's very happy because he knows the soul is out there suffering. So the soul comes here, sees the deities, and he is inspired by the books and by the devotees and by so many things. He's inspired to engage in devotional service. So this is very pleasing to Krishna. Nothing pleases him more, as we hear here. Krishna's, he recognizes such a devotee more than any other because people are suffering. And when we go out, it may be a little difficult, but the austerity is good. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita that if one does not perform austerity, one cannot be happy in this life, nor in the next life. So it can be a little austere. Here, distributing books here, it gets chilly here. I know in December it was a little chilly, huh? Well, austerity. It was good, huh? It was kind of, you felt good. The soul feels good. The mind, maybe, you're struggling a little bit with it. But the soul is happy, isn't it? And I just got word, or I was just reading how in Canada, they were doing huge. Canada is also really cold, like Toronto, super, super cold. But they were out there distributing books and had a huge marathon. So Krishna's so pleased when we do this austerity. It's good for us, right? It's pleasing to Krishna, and it's good for them. So it's a win-win situation. You can't lose. Even if you go out and you're distributing books all day long, or you're trying to distribute all books all day long, and no one takes a book, even then, Krishna is pleased. Therefore, Krishna is known as Kartam Isha. Kartam Isha means the boss. He's the supreme boss. It's like you guys you might have a boss. Everybody has a boss. You're working, they have their boss. But Krishna, he's the supreme boss. And he's such a good boss that he's mostly pleased just by the intention. What is the intention? This is what pleases Krishna. If our intention is to enjoy ourselves, go out and distribute books just to get some name and fame and glory, same old story, then Krishna's not as pleased as if he would be if we went out and just tried to glorify Krishna. So sometimes there's this name, fame we try to get, maybe. It's like Vaisheshika Maharaj, he doesn't post individual names. No names, just the temples. but no names. Because sometimes people get proud. I've seen it, devotees that do very big, number one, huge, Hariva, prizes, and so much glory. But then after some time, you don't see them anymore. So it's dangerous to get a lot of praise. So he doesn't allow that, which is good. Because as it is said, pride comes before the fall. So it's easy to get proud in Kali Yuga. Like it is said that the pauper is proud of his penny. What to speak if you become a big book distributor? It's very easy to become proud. So, yeah, it's interesting that in this purport, Prabhupada says 3 times you get recognized by Krishna. If we get recognized by Krishna in a positive way, then we're pretty much paving our way back to Godhead, because he's pleased. He's pleased by this activity of book distribution. There's so many things that we can be doing. But if we go out of our way to distribute books, then Krishna is very pleased. And as Prabhupada says in the purport, then what more is there to achieve if we please Krishna? And he says it's very pleasing to him. The Guru, Prabhupada says, if you want to please me, then distribute books. So this is coming from Prabhupada, from Krishna. So it's a very auspicious activity. So maybe I'll stop there. Now, any questions or comment? Or reflection? You like to say anything?
Thank you very much, Guruji, for a very sweet and very wonderful class. I have a question. So we hear that soul has 3 aspects. The soul jiva has 3 aspects. Sat, Chit, and Anand.
Yeah.
Anand means some happiness it is looking for, blissfulness. So when we go out for book distribution, so what I primarily do is some interest I get, something blissful. And especially when we are in a mood that, okay, this, if I do now, maybe I get first rank or this, some passionate feelings we have. And that enthusiasm is sometimes more to do book distribution, more I can do. Even if it is cold, I will go out and I will do. So I agree that sometimes it may go to the zone of getting pride or this, but at the same time we need some something so that we get enthusiastic, especially in a condition so like how we have.
Yeah.
So how to understand that some favorable, how to say, things which are there in book distribution, they are good for us, and when it is getting in the wrong way.
Well, there's a statement in the Brihad Bhagavatamrita by Narada Muni. He says, Mahadbir Bhakti Nistayasta Laswari Neti Manyate. Very powerful statement. He says, devotees of the Lord do not think that the services they do are actions under their own control, but they are expressions of Krishna's supreme mercy. So, whatever we do, we should do it for the pleasure of Krishna, knowing that he's the actual doer. And yeah, we're conditioned souls, so we, naturally there's some desire to get some name, some fame. But we should understand that this is not very pleasing to Krishna. It's there, but we should, that you're noticing it, that's good. That's the first step. That's the first step. Then we understand that this is not good. So we can pray to Krishna. Krishna, please help me to do this just for your pleasure. Help me to be free of this desire to get some name, some fame, some recognition. Of course, we want to be, as is stated here, we want to be recognized by Krishna. Like Bhakti-siddhanta Saraswati Thakur said that some people, they want to see God, but Bhakti-siddhanta Saraswati Thakur said we should act in such a way that God wants to see us. So that means doing this, especially doing this book distribution for the pleasure of Krishna, for the glorification of Krishna, for our own purification, and for the benefit of others. It's not easy to get rid of the false ego, but we got to first. We got to recognize it. This is. I'm thinking of getting something out of this. I want to get some recognition. So that's the first step. Now then you pray to Krishna. Krishna, please take this away. Help me to just do this for your pleasure and for the benefit of the conditioned souls. So, that might help a little bit. Okay.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, in the purport, like here we see also the translation for that Bhagavad Gita, chapter 18, verses 68-69. So, one who preaches the message of Bhagavad Gita to my devotees is most dear to me. No one can excel him in satisfying me by worship. So here, one who preaches the message of Bhagavad Gita to my devotees is most dear to me. So even like one of the
Damodar.
verses,
Damodar. Is that his name? Damodar?
Ram.
Damodar. Calm down, slow down. Go ahead.
so in comparison to this verse, there's also elsewhere in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says like, so the ones who are envious of him, like to him the message should not be preached. And here also it said, one who preaches the message of Bhagavad Gita to my devotees is most dear to me. So in this connection, like, which means if somebody is like unwilling, then so we should see who is interested, and to them only we should like, of course, not only distribute books, so not like even talk about Krishna. So like how to understand this book?
Uh-huh. Well, when we're distributing books, we'll meet people that aren't interested, right? So when we're distributing Bhagavad Gita, we'll meet people that aren't interested, and that's called an unripe mango, right? So when you want to have a nice sweet mango and it's green, what do? What do? You leave it there.
Yeah.
You just leave it there. There's a lot of unripe mangoes out there, so we just let them go. But sometimes there's people out there that we meet that are very interested. We show them the Bhagavad Gita, and this is very interesting. That's called a ripe mango. So there are some ripe mangoes out there that like to read books like what we have, and although they may be envious there's 4 things. It should not be given to those who are envious of me, who are not engaged in devotional service, who are not devoted to me, and who are not austere. 4 things. So these people that we're distributing books to, they're none of them. They're envious, they're not devoted, they're not engaged in devotional service, and they're not austere. And they're not devotees. So, but Prabhupada says in the purport that Krishna, he's strict in this matter, but a devotee is more merciful than Krishna. Therefore, he goes out and he gives this knowledge to others, although they may not be qualified. And because of that mercy of the devotee, so many people have become devotees because of getting Prabhupada's books. I got a Bhagavad Gita, out of a library. And I wasn't engaged in devotional service. I wasn't devoted. I wasn't austere. I was envious. But it changed my life. And so many people come because of Bhagavad Gita. It's amazing. Like I ask people, devotees, how you became a devotee. And it's about, 60% of the time, it's because they got a Bhagavad Gita. Just like this Donna Kaylee, I heard she got a Bhagavad Gita, right? And I think she took the Islamic way, but then she got a Bhagavad Gita and said, "Oh, wait, this is a better way." So I was a Christian, but I got the Bhagavad Gita. So many people changed their lives because they got a Bhagavad Gita, although they weren't qualified. But Krishna is very merciful. So, and devotees are very merciful. Devotees are more merciful. So, okay? Anything else? Anything online? Any questions online? Or offline? Okay, thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. And tomorrow I think we're going to have a home program somewhere. 6:30, I think. Or 6 o'clock.
6 o'clock.
6 o'clock. Yeah. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Shastra distribution ki jai.
Morning we will have Srimad Bhagavatam also.
Yeah. You were there this morning?
Yes, online.
Oh, online.
I had to drop my child.
Oh, yeah. Okay.